today I'm going to be showing you guys how I did this full face makeup bronzy makeup routine, I guess. This makeup look, and I actually planned out this entire look using cloth and paper agenda inserts. I have this A5 agenda right here that I love to plan out my looks, and these inserts from cloth and paper give you like a face chart and everything, and a lot of places to write down the products that you use. And I kind of like doing this so I can plan out makeup tutorials for you guys. And if you guys want to see how I use these inserts, you can check out Cloth and Paper's YouTube video. I did a full video on how I used those inserts, and yeah, if you guys are here from that video, hello, welcome to my channel. But yeah, so I'm about to show you guys how I actually use the products on my face with a live tutorial, and I really love how this turned out. I think it looks even better on the face than it does on paper, but I love that I planned out the steps and everything, and it really helped me do this tutorial really smoothly and remember all the products to use and all the products that I wanted to incorporate into this video for you guys. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, let's get right to the tutorial. Hi guys, so first off we're gonna start with prepping the skin, and what I like to do first is go in with a moisturizer or a primer, but one of the products that I've been absolutely loving lately is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. And I love it because it's super hydrating, and it just creates a really nice base. And if you have dry skin or even oily skin, for some reason this cream doesn't really counteract with any sort of foundations or any sort of powders, and it just helps everything blend in really smoothly. So first off, I'm just gonna put that all over my face as I'm doing right now. And I've been really loving it, and it gives you like a really nice sort of protective layer from the actual makeup, which I really love as well. I'm really into skincare and I like to protect my skin, so I feel like doing just this extra step with a moisturizer really helps to enhance and make your overall face look really nice, especially at the end, because after you have like powders and all this foundation on, it usually looks really cakey. But I find that if I do put a layer of moisture underneath at first, it does help to kind of finish off the entire look at the end and make it look less cakey and unnatural. The next thing that I always love to do is go in with SPF. I do use a lot of acids and different types of chemical exfoliants, so I always want to make sure that I have my SPF. This one right here is from Murad, and it is the Environmental Shield. And I love this because not only does it protect against like actual UV rays, but it's really good if you work in an office environment and have to stare at a computer all day, because it does kind of sort of protect your skin from blue light as well. So I thought that's really cool. So I love this. It's really light, and what I like to do, it's a dropper, so I try not to touch my skin when I'm applying this on my face, because I don't want to put any bacteria onto the actual product, because I'm a bit of a germaphobe in that way. And then I just go in with a beauty sponge and I smooth it all over. The sponge I'm using right now, this one is from Morphe, and I think it's only like $8, but yeah, I really like it. It's nice. It's not as soft as the Beauty Blender, but it does the job and it does the trick. So I just put it all over my face. Okay, so then the next step is using Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This is it right here. I'm in the shade number 3 in Fair. So if you have kind of sort of the similar skin tone as me, this is a good one to try out if you're looking to buy this foundation. I just put a little bit on the sponge, and then I just smooth it from the center of my face outward. And I typically like to try and put all the foundation in the center of my face, because that's kind of where all the imperfections are, like the redness, the pores, everything. The perimeter of my skin is okay, so I don't like to put too much foundation there. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing. Like, if there's nothing to cover, don't just put foundation there. And this kind of technique and tip is really good if you're trying to maintain your skin health, which is something that I've been trying to do lately. Like, I've been trying to focus more on the skin itself so that I can use less makeup and overall have like nicer looking pores and face and everything. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been trying to achieve lately. So as you can see, I'm just blending it outwards from the center of the face outwards. And already you can see that I have really decreased a lot of the redness. And for today's look, since we're doing something a little bit more smoky and bronzy, I want to do a little bit of highlighting as well. So typically if I was going for a natural look, I wouldn't go in with something so thick, but because I want to do something a little bit more glamorous today, I'm going to be Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is like such a tongue twister for me for some reason. It's really hard for me to say Shape Tape Concealer. Anyway, so here it is. I just use the doe foot applicator, and I'm just putting that under the eyes, like so. And I kind of put it on my cheeks as well, and then down the bridge of my nose. I do sort of like a U shape on the Cupid's bow to enhance everything, and a little bit on the chin because I want to bring this forward. And I'm someone who likes to do the highlighting first, but some people like to do the contour before the highlighting, but I actually like doing the highlighting first. I guess it's just up to personal preference. I'm just using the other side of the sponge, and I'm just pressing it in. I'm getting it a little bit on my eyelid as well, because that will act as a primer for the shadow. So I'm just tapping that in, kind of a basic step. That's the base laid down. The next step I like to do is use a powder. And the powder that I've been loving lately is also from Charlotte Tilbury. It's kind of like a theme going on right now. I've just been really vibing with Charlotte Tilbury. Their skin products are just so amazing. They glide on really smoothly, and even after a long day of work, like, you don't look cakey and crusted and dry. For some reason, their products are just really good, and using in combination with their magic cream and everything, I just think everything is like really nice and laid, and it just stays all day. But as you can see, I've been loving this powder. This powder is like a nice thin velvety formula, and it doesn't cake up the face, and it doesn't clog my pores, which I love. I'm just gonna go in with this Eco Tools bamboo brush, and it's like a really nice big fluffy powder brush, and I love it because it's really soft, and I love that it's not a stiff brush because it doesn't push any of the foundation or the concealer that we've already laid down, so you're not losing all your hard work. So I just like to kind of dust it on, again in a patting motion rather than a sweeping motion, and this will just set the makeup down there as well. Okay, so a new product that I've been loving lately is, where is it? Oh, here it is. It's from Besame Cosmetics. Look at this packaging. First of all, packaging alone, this is just so beautiful. It's like a seashell, and this is in their bronzing, sorry, what am I trying to say? This is from their Peter Pan collection, the collab with Peter Pan, and this one is the Golden Sand Bronzer Compact. I just absolutely love it. Look at this. They have like this beautiful, like, sort of bezeled design on the bronzer itself. I'm just gonna go in with a big bronzing brush. That's really hard to say too. I'm just gonna go in with this big bronzing brush, and I'm gonna tap a little bit of the product on there. Gonna go in with the side of my cheek, and I'm just gonna bronze and kind of contour at the same time. And I'm putting this a little bit higher than I would my contour. Contour is usually around this area, but because this is bronzer slash contour, I'm putting it a little bit higher so it looks like where the sun would hit. And with a pale face like mine, I definitely really need this step. And I'm just gonna bring it onto the temples and the forehead as well. I also like to do a nose contour, and I just go in with like a fluffy eyeshadow brush like this, and I just tap in the product. And I like to start from like kind of the tip of the nose, and I bring it up towards the brows. That's kind of how I do my nose contour. And I just want to use a light hand as well because this is really pigmented, and I don't want to have like a really harsh stripe on my nose. That's how I do it. Like so. Okay, the next step I like to do is go in with my brows. For the brows today, I'm gonna go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Ebony. First, I go in with the spoolie and I make sure that all the hairs are laid, so they're all pointing in the correct direction. We have nothing going against the grain of the hair. And then I just pencil in, starting from the front a little bit, and I kind of redefine the overall perimeters of the brow, and I kind of just lightly sketch in where my brow is a little bit more weak. So I just fill it in really quickly. See, the brows are laid, and let's just go into the eyeshadow now. So the palette that I'm going to be using for this tutorial is going to be by the Balm Cosmetics, and it's called Nude Beach. It's just your basic everyday brown eyeshadow palette, so you don't actually need to use this specific palette, but if you wanted to follow along exactly with this tutorial, you can go and try and pick this up. But other than that, you just need some nice brown neutral colors and you can achieve the same look. So I'm going to use a fluffy brush like this. I'm going to go in with Brilliant, which is just like a nice bone beige color, and I'm going to use this as the brow bone highlight. And I'm picking up a lot of that product, and I'm just bringing that further down towards sort of a crease area if you have a crease, but I don't. So I'm just going to bring it down halfway on my lid. Like so. And this just helps create a nice base for all the rest of the eyeshadow. So when it's laid, it doesn't stick onto a tacky part where when you put your cream foundation and concealer, where that was previously, so it doesn't just clump into one area. It just gives it a smooth base to blend. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with Bold, like so. I'm going to start from the outer corner of my eye, and I'm going to do circular motions and blend it upwards towards your sort of crease area. I clearly don't have a crease, so I'm just going upwards. Doing the same on this eye. So next off, I'm going to use a pencil brush, and I'm going to go in with this color called Brave. And I'm just going to use a sort of stamping motion. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to get in really close to you guys, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to stamp the color onto the eye. I'm creating sort of a flick, and then I'm going to also stamp it inwards because we're creating kind of like a false crease. And don't worry if this is harsh, because we will be blending it out in a bit. So I'm just stamping it. Get the basic shape right. That's just the important part about this step, is to get the shape correct. And by stamping the product, instead of going back and forth, it's easier to control those loose particles. So my camera cut off, but hopefully it didn't cut off the whole part, but I was just stamping on the color with the nice dark brown shade to kind of sort of create the shape that I want. After that, as you can see, it's a really harsh line, so I'm just going to go in with a fluffy brush, and I'm going to go back in with that brown shade that we used initially, and just with a really light hand, I'm going to feather around the perimeter, and I'm going to try to blend the two colors together. And you just want to blend until you get your desired sort of gradation, like a false crease type of thing, kind of like a cut crease, but not really. And I'm just gonna go with a nice metallic shade. This one is called Built, and I'm using a paddle brush like this, or a flat shader brush, and I'm just picking up the product. I'm really loading on the product here, as you can see. And what I like about this metallic shade is that it really covers a lot of the other shades as well when you put it on top, so you can really carve out kind of a crease without using concealer, which is something that's really popular right now, but sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to do that, so I just use this technique, and I go, see that blank space that we put? That's where we want to put this color. So what I'm going to do, using the curvature of the actual brush, I'm going to carve in sort of that false crease. And the nice thing about this kind of technique is that all the shades kind of blend into each other. See how I did that there? That was so easy. And I'm just gonna go ahead, load up the brush, and then I'm gonna do the other eye. Now when I get closer to sort of the brown shade, I kind of just use short feathery strokes like this to merge the two together, and it kind of marries the color. So you get that perfect blend. Like so. The next thing I want to do for this look is do a cat eyeliner. And I'm going to go in with Kissme Heroine Make. I love this eyeliner. It's nice and juicy and black and dark. So I'm just going to shake it up. And I'm going to do a cat eye. So I'm going to start from the outer corner, create a flick. Like so. I'm going to connect the flick in towards the eye. And then I'm going to connect from the inner corner outwards. And then I'm going to fill it in. And that's how I do a cat eye. I'm going to do the other side. Same step, outside as well. And then I'm gonna fill it in. Then what I like to do is go back in with that nice bold color right here, which is actually called bold. I pick it up with the pencil brush, and then I'm going to drag a little bit on the under eye so that I have like a nice cohesive look all over the eyes. So I'm just going to drag it down here. Then because we did have a shimmery inner corner, I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go back, if I can find it, I'm going to go back with that same flat shader brush, go back in with that bronzy color over here, and then I'm going to do the inner corner from the lower lid right here. To finish off the look, I'm just going to curl my eyelashes with a eyelash curler. This is my favorite eyelash curler. It's from Jouer, and it works great for people with Asian lashes. And I just crimp my eyelashes as best as I can. The mascara I'm going to be using is going to be from Milk Cosmetics, and this is the Kush mascara. This is just a mini one, and I'm just going to lay a little bit of mascara on. And I have really short Asian lashes anyway, so afterwards I'm going to go in with lashes. Lashes I'm going to be using today are from Lilly Lashes, and they're in the style Mykonos. This is how they look like. Where is it? Oh, here it is. DUP glue. And I love this glue because it comes with a brush, and it's just like foolproof, basically. Just putting the glue on the band, giving it a little shake so it dries off a little bit, so it creates a nice tackiness to it, and that'll help it adhere really quickly and really easily. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and once it's dried, I'm gonna go in with eyeliner and I'm gonna cover up all the glue. So while that's drying, I'm gonna do my lips. For the lips, I'm gonna go in with Jouer Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Lychee. Wow, I'm like fully transformed, I feel like. The last thing to do is blush. The blush I'm going to be using today is really going to match with this lip, and this blush is in the shade, what is it called? Ecstacy. And it has bronze around it, and the middle, the center, is actually the pink. So I'm just going to lightly dust that on. And it marries that whole full glam look together. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with highlighter. This is Charlotte Tilbury's Bar of Gold. I'm using this fluffy brush right here, and I'm going to go in with number 1. and I'm gonna pop that on the top of my cheekbone to really get that wet look. I love this highlighter so much. It's so beautiful. So I don't actually know when the camera cut off, but I just put on this beautiful highlight. This one's Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold in #1. And I also pop it down my nose, on top of the Cupid's bow, a little bit on the chin, and then a little bit on the center of the forehead with a really, really light hand. So it creates that glow. So the final step to set the makeup is to go in with setting spray. This is just the Urban Decay All Nighter spray. It's my mini travel one because my big one ran out. So I'm just gonna set the face. Woo! And that's just gonna let my skin kind of melt all the products together. So this look I actually planned out using my blogger planner right here. And I love doing face charts like these right here, where I plan out the look that I'm gonna use. And I'm not really excellent at using face charts or anything, but I do try, and I do try to keep organized. And if you guys are interested in how I did this whole layout with this insert, you can check out Cloth and Paper's YouTube video. I did a full video on their channel of how I did this setup and how I created this full face look. And yeah, I just kind of walk you guys through all the products that I use and how I use this insert in my beauty blogger agenda. And yes, I am that extra. I have a beauty blogger agenda. This is an A5 agenda. It's like clear jelly material. You can get this really cheap off of Amazon. I created this dashboard myself, designed it myself, just printed it off, put laminating paper on it, and this is where I kind of organize my calendar, my schedule, and everything YouTube and Instagram related. And yeah, I just love it because it keeps everything really organized, and I even track my skincare routine and everything in here, and I just love it. It's like a nice fun thing to do. So if you guys are interested in getting those inserts, or are interested in planners and kind of planning goods and materials, you can definitely go check out the Cloth and Paper YouTube channel and check out the video that I filmed for them as well. So that's in there. So yeah, I'm really happy with this look. It's the perfect sort of glam summer look. I really like the eyes and the whole bronzy skin with like a really intense glow. I think this is really in for this season, and it's really wearable for any formal occasions for the summer. Very bronzy, very like glam, big lips, everything that I love about makeup. And I just love these lashes. Lilly lashes are definitely like my favorite because I have such like a wide eyeshadow space. Like I have really wide eyelids, so I need big lashes like this to actually like show through, so it's kind of like frames the makeup when my eyes are open. So yeah, I just love Lilly lashes. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this full face glam makeup tutorial, my nice dewy skin as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.